Smush that foam! Today, Whatever Wednesday, highly requested painting tutorial to infinity and beyond. I think that's what I called it. But it is a Galaxy tutorial and other. So I have prepped some paper. We're going to do Galaxy, Northern Lights, Sunrise, Sunset. I think we're going to start in outer space. So for the Galaxy tutorial, you need a dark background. You can use black or just a dark colour. And then your colour of... I don't even know what it is, the little smooshes. You can use a paintbrush, you can use a sponge. I think I did the cover of Create This Book 3 with a sponge. But I'm going to show you close up so you can actually see what I'm doing. A small amount of paint, and then you're just working it outwards. You don't want to take too much, you can just dab it off your sponge. And you're just trying to thin it out, really. And one of the best parts for this is you can't make a mistake because you can always cover it up. Like, if you can see, there's somehow made it yellow. Like, splotch of paint in there as well. But that's fine, we can work that out. We just thin it out, and then you'll go in with another colour, and cover that over. It's all about layering your colours with thin, like, airy looks. I mean, it looks like nothing at the minute, but once you start adding more colours in and crossing them over and blending them together, it becomes Galaxy. So I just keep going back to I create like a center point and then just blend outwards. Just keep smushing your sponge out or your paintbrush. And then I've picked a pink here. We're just gonna fill in that. And do the same thing. Blend it into that one. You're not worrying too much about details at this point. You're just trying to lay down the base layer. And then after that, you can come back in and shape it. See, my photo doesn't really do it justice, but you can see that was more about the technique. But as you can see, just blending it across one another, whichever way you want to go. I mean, I always think that I go over the top because I end up filling the whole thing. But you can go back in with your background color and clear some space like this. I've gone too light, so I can bring in another darker color to cut that darkness and the lightness. You can wait for it to dry in between layers. This is what I'm going to do because it's all just smushing together at this point. It's dry now. There was no transition there. I used the hairdryer. But this is where we're at. I've gone for more of a swirly, sort of vortexy type thing. Now, to create these little stars, Milky Way type things, I add some water to some white acrylic and then just tap the end of my brush. And then with a brush, I'm just putting like little clusters. I tried to go for like a comet theme here. As you can see, I've done like a little smooshy, and literally all I did was wipe my hand across it. You can do no wrong with a Galaxy. This one isn't my finest, but I hope that helps. It's just all about the smooshing technique and blending the paint out. Thin layers is all my advice is going to be. If you do it with a sponge, just a thin layer, dab it on, wipe your sponge and blend it out. And just keep layering and layering until you're happy. And like I said, you can use any colours as well. The normal purple, blues and that, and like I've shown in Create This Book 3, I have done it with pink and green because, you know, I'm Spam Creates. Ugh, that sounded so egotistic. Oh, this one. This was Creative Rainbow. This is your fault. No. I had been wanting to try this for a while. I had seen so many tutorials on how to do this. But let me tell you, the internet is full of liars. So I'm following tutorials. They say, well, they don't actually show you how to get the paint on there to do the little smooshy, brushy thing upwards. So I'm trying to figure that out. I had one attempt. I'm like, okay, I think I got this. So I'm layering some thick colours down, and then with I've tried it with a dry brush and a wet brush, trying to smear the lights upwards, which it kind of works, but no one tells you whether it's a wet or a dry brush. Okay. This is tutorial number 2 I've followed, and nothing's working. Okay. I mean, it's there or thereabouts, but then I have this, like, it's meant to be light and amazing, and this is just like I rubbed my arm across the paper by accident. This was stressing me out because the tutorials are like, oh, just do this, and look, it's a masterpiece. I'm like, liar, you're a liar. Look at her, just smoosh up like this, and oh, look, you're a liar. You're an absolute liar. Just do this, smoosh it up, and you have this amazing painting. It just seems so simple. But they're keeping, all the artists out there are keeping it a secret, but not me. Not me, I'm blabbing. I'm telling. I'm like that magician secret guy. Back in like the 90s? Noughties? Oh look, there's another one. So that one looks like she is like wiping her brush in between with a dry brush. So, okay. My ugly face in that. Did you see that? Shh, face reveal. attempt number 3, we're going to flip it because we royally have messed up that bottom part because I've gone over it like numerous times and with a wet brush. So I've dried my brush. I've given it a little blow dry. So we now have a dry brush and we're going to see if that makes any difference. If this doesn't work, I give up. And I can't give you a Northern Lights tutorial because I can't figure out the secret. I refuse to give up though, like I will figure this out. Again, it's too thick, it's too, like, it's not working. So, as you can see, I gave up on their method and just figured it out on my own. So I now have a tiny brush, okay? It's gonna take time, I'm aware. And all I'm doing is sort of brushing it up and blending it out, and that's it. Each colour, and then going back and sort of blending the colours together. Like transition it. I know these aren't really the colours. I should have stuck with one colour instead of being stupid. But it's literally all that's happening. I went over it again with a white to give it a lighter colour because it seemed very dark to me. So just to bring in some light to it, because obviously it is the Northern Light, so we're going to add some light. But you're just creating a line, and as you're going along, just smoosh it up. You don't want to load your paintbrush up, obviously. You just want a thin layer. And granted, it is not the best, but it's the best result that I've had. And like, the tutorials suck. I'm not a magician. It just irritates me. Okay. But if you want to see a further one of this, it kind of works, it kind of doesn't. I added some mountains in the bottom just to create a picture. But if you kind of step back, close your eyes and look in the other direction, it works. So after 3 tutorials and mine, I finally somewhat cracked it if you don't look at it. No, on a serious note, I would like to have another go at that. But don't follow anyone else's tutorial, she says, making a tutorial herself. But at least I don't do the whole, oh look at this blank bit of paper. All you do is brush your paintbrush across it and here's a magical painting that looks like you spent 20 hours on it. I show you the process. There's no hiding here. I don't do that type of thing. So if I do have another go at it, I will not do something like that. I won't just go, ta-da! I pulled this out my butt. Anyway, sorry, ran over. So I've moved on to sunrise, I think. Yes, maybe. I always get confused. Yes, it's sunrise. Sorry, I was processing that in my brain because sunrise and sunset, I always thought, they're the same, right? Like, what difference? But, again, Creative Rainbow, I think you asked for this. But I get it now, I get the difference. Because different colour palette for a start, because there needs to be blue in there. But it needs to go from cool to warm, and then sunset is warm to cool. because the way I tried to remember it was it's cold in the morning and gets warm at night. No, warm during the day, sorry, and then obviously the other way. But I created like this ocean like reflection thing. I don't know whether I like it or not, but this is your color palette. And the way I blended these colors in the top was difficult, but adding a little bit of white in there to not make it look so green, because obviously blending blue and yellow. I don't think I've ever done a sunrise. But I don't know what you meant when you wanted a sunrise tutorial. I don't know whether it was that palette, the color palette, or what to do with it. I don't know. But this one's obviously easier. Red to yellow, bright yellow, whatever time that you want. As where the other one was a color palette of the dark orange, red, orange, yellow, and then that's where I put the white in before I went to the light blue to the dark blue, which would have been the night sky that's been pushed out. But if you want, I will send or put something on the post if you want, or if you want these pictures so that you can always have a reference of the color palette, let me know and I will get it to you somehow. Email, Instagram, whatever. I didn't know what to do with the sunset, so I just did my normal pink clouds because I just liked the orange and the pink together. But yeah, there's your tutorial. Huh. What a roller coaster. So we have our sunset and sunrise. Okay, so just remember, sunrise is cool to warm, sunset is warm to cool. I kind of remember it in the day because it's colder in the morning and warmer in the day, and warmer in the day and then colder at night. See, that's the way I remember it. And then we have our Northern Lights Aurora Borealis monstrosity. The only thing that came out of that good was the mountains. I'm not one to give up though, so I'm determined. And then we have our Galaxy tutorial. I hope these helped, and if you want any other painting tutorials, they're fun for me to do because I'd never done the Aurora Borealis before, and I now have a bit between my teeth for it. Like, I just want to get it right, just once. Just figure it out. I'll figure it out on my own. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this was helpful. If you did enjoy, please let me know down below what you thought, and if you want these pictures, please do hit that like button also, and hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Ting! Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.